Sometimes it's connecting, sometimes I'm live. Either way, welcome. I am Brandy Mars Sky. This is day 10. Oh my gosh, 10 days of the 100-day project. And I'm really excited because 10 is such a great number. Numerology wise, it's a number of manifestation, it's a number of completion, it's a number of reaching some kind of ending and getting ready to go into a new beginning. And I really feel like that's what last night's sleep was. June didn't have any seizures. We took her to the vet. I got to spend some really good quality time with my wife and my dog, and that was so nice. And even though I woke up in the middle of the night last night, I woke up like at 3:15 a.m. just instinctually because I was concerned and I didn't want to I was like trying to wake her up if I felt like she was twitching. She was completely seizure free last night, and I woke up and I gave her a big hug, gave my wife a big hug. Yes, it is good news. They upped her Keppra dosage, which means that she's getting a higher concentrated dosage of her medicine versus like more medicine, which is good because she doesn't take medicine very well. We have to give her like little dry treats and put the medicine in it. So all is well. And I woke up this morning in a like sea of inspiration. And sometimes as creatives, that happens, right? We go through this lull, this creative lull because of life, because of a situation, because of tending to ourselves or our loved one or a beloved animal kin. And we don't get as creative as we want. Although last night, I have to say, because I was in such a deep reflective mode, I did some evening writing. And typically my evenings aren't memoir writing filled, but last night I felt the call and I followed that light rabbit. And again, really, it's about feeling into what your creative flow and where your energy is going, where it wants to go, and following that flow. And so today, I woke up this morning and I knew immediately that I needed to get what happened with June out, right? As writers, or really any kind of creatives, our end result is typically infused or inspired by something that happens in our life, right? Whether, even if you're writing fiction, even if you're creating, I don't know, movies or song lyrics or whatever, paintings, sculptures, whatever it is you're creating, the impetus is often derived from something that's happening like internally or in the inner world of our lives. And by inner world, I mean like within our personal little orbit. And I knew that this morning when I woke up and I knew June was going to be okay and I knew my wife was going to be here to like watch over her, I knew I needed to get it out. I knew I needed to get what my emotions were, all the feelings, and I needed to write it out. And so when that happens, I will gift myself what I call like a vomit session. It's basically like a download where the purpose and the intent isn't to get to an end product, although typically it does become like an essay or something. And this one in particular wants to be an essay for Substack here on Substack. But I don't even think about any of that, right? I release all expectation and I just allow myself to be present on the page. All the feelings, all the things that I would never say in public. Maybe I would, I do because I write it and I publish it, but I just allow myself the freedom and releasing the pressure that nobody ever has to read this if I don't want them to, right? Because I'm an agent being. I can choose to publish this, edit it, whatever. But I gift myself that time to write. I gift myself that time to just get it all out, to expel it, to express it. I mean, think about the root word of expression. It really is expressing, expelling what is inside of us. And this morning, I gave myself that gift of just writing freely and expressing all of that. And by the end of it was about a 30-minute session that I gave myself to just download. I felt cleansed. I felt clear. And I felt like if I so choose to, and I did choose to, I could move into my work creative life, my work writing life, knowing that I am now a clear channel for what wants to come through. And what wanted to come through was a brand new like mini journal that I made called, I don't even know what I titled it. I think it was like Awakening Your Wild Dreams, because I just was in this flood and fury of inspiration and muse, partly because I didn't create yesterday, but mostly because I cleared the channel by getting out what was clogging my inner creative channel that then downloads the the art, the work. And it felt so good. It felt so good from the moment, waking up and knowing and being grateful for another day, and June not having a seizure, and me being cancer free, my wife being stroke free, like all the things, and then just expelling it out of my body and releasing it onto the page. And then knowing and feeling like I got to a point where I really literally felt like I had cleaned out the clog, right? I call it like Creative Drano. I think I talked about this before, but it's like really just expelling that um, out of the channel and what is clogging you up, because then that frees you up to do the work if you so choose to, or if you're inspired to do the writing, to do the work, to do the thing that you set out to do. But often we want to bypass the clearing, right? It is powerful. We want to bypass that expression and that expelling because it's not quote unquote going to get us anywhere. As in, it's not going to get us to like an end writing or an end product or an end result or end whatever. And I'm calling bullshit on that. We can't bypass the declogging and the cleansing of our channel and expect to get to an end product, a product that we can be proud of. And I say product, you know what I mean? I mean like a piece of art. I don't mean like a product that you go and sell. I mean like a product from your soul and yourself that you have written, you have mono made, that you have created. We cannot bypass our real life and bypass that cleansing aspect and expect to get to a piece of art that we hope will move, attract, and motivate others to do and create art in their own lives, right? To motivate and move them to change, to act, to do, to be, to become. And sometimes that little personal little vomit becomes art in itself, but we can't approach it as such because then it becomes precious. And then we make it about it becoming a piece of writing or a piece of art or a piece of work. Whereas what we really need in that moment is just to let it go, is just to cleanse the palate, to cleanse the soul, to become a tabula rasa. And if, we get some space and we look back and we feel into the word vomit and it feels like it wants to be something, then by all means play with it. Let it be something. Like I know that this piece, that the vomit actually wants to be a piece. And I know that because I went back and I looked at it and I communicated with it and it said to me, it wants to be a Substack essay. And so tomorrow, I'm giving myself some space because today was just the vomit day, was just a spilling, was just a purging. And then tomorrow, I'm going to go in and start to craft and mold it and fuel it and see what other things want to spark and want to be a part of the essay. And then my goal is to publish it here on Friday, but it felt really important this morning to talk about that part of the creative process that is often overlooked in that cleansing and that clearing. And again, the invitation isn't to always take that cleansing and turn it into art. The invitation is to not bypass that cleansing and that clearing, to let yourself just vomit and vent on the page, in a brush, in your hands, in beading, whatever it is that you do. Give yourself that freedom to do that. And then take some space, come back to it, see if it wants to be something. If it doesn't, then you move on, knowing that you are fully cleansed and clear with that which was clogging up your creative drains, and you can move forward in your project with a lot less weight and a little bit more levity. So I hope that that's helpful. It really just kind of sprung forth from what I was going through this morning, which is what this project is all about, is just sharing off the cuff, in the moment, little creative sparks and ways that I navigate life and caretaking and tending with the creative life. So I hope that you found that helpful. I'm excited to share. This is like the first time I'm sharing like the actual process of like an essay. So it's going to be really fun. Tomorrow is a Wild Dream Wednesday, but then I'll share maybe on Thursday kind of like how I've been crafting it and curating it into an essay. And then I'll share the essay on Friday. That's what I'm hoping the trajectory is going to be. So don't hold me to it, because #life, but that is what is in my heart. Thank y'all so much for joining me live. I love y'all so much. Also, if you joined me live yesterday, I talked about letting creativity be messy and kind of what instigated all of this. But I went back and I knew I had written about this before, and I realized that I'd written about it in my blog back in 2020, this whole idea of letting it be messy. So if you join me live, if you go and click on the video, I linked to like this old video from 5 years ago where I was doing this almost exact same thing and talking about letting it be messy. And it's just I felt like it was a really beautiful, almost full circle moment that I saw within myself, and growth as an artist, and a growth as a person who really wants to have a connection with people and share and help people create. And yeah, so if you have time, go check that out, because I looked at the video and I was like, oh my God, like I was in Dallas. Like, I don't know. It's just amazing to see that full circle, but also for you to see that we never stop learning, growing, sharing, evolving. And if something is in your heart, as this project was, it's been in my heart for a really long time, and it'll keep showing up in different ways, right? I always want to come out. I've always wanted to just be the kind of person that jumps on a live and shares off the cuff. And I share in that the post that I created and wrote in 2020 that I was so envious of people who could do that. And now I'm doing it. Now I committed to doing it for 100 days for my 100-day project, and I'm on day 10. And it all begins with a single, I don't want to say a step, a single desire that then you take a single step to make happen, and then see where the rest of the path wants to take you. So that was just a little caveat. So if you go and look at that, I would love to hear your comments. Like, it's crazy. Just let me know what you think. I love y'all so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Have the most amazing day. It is so windy here. I don't know like what the weather is like where y'all are at, but in Wimberley, Texas, the winds are like, I grew up in Corpus, and so I've lived through hurricanes, and this wind is like that. It's kind of insane, but it's also really great to just like step outside and pretend like I'm the queen of the world, a la Titanic style, not on a ship, but just with the wind. So anyways, I might go play in the wind a little bit more, but have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Mucho más love in Lakesh.